Good evening and thanks for tuning in to NDTV 24/7. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and on every issue that matters, the buck stops here. No more infiltrators or ghuspetiyas in India. No more vote bank politics taking precedence over rights of Indians, and no more shielding of illegals in the name of politics. That was the Prime Minister's warning, an aggressive warning today when he spoke from Purnia in Bihar. And all of this, he said, is Modi ki guarantee. A guarantee to not let infiltrators and illegals set terms and dictate the politics of our country. It is significant that the area that he was making this statement from, Purnia, falls in the Muslim-majority Simanchal area of Bihar. It is also significant that the issue of outsiders has been a recurrent theme during the ongoing SIR, the Special Intensive Revision in Bihar, especially in Simanchal, where EC sources have said that illegals have been discovered on the voter rolls during scrutiny. However, no actual number for these illegals was given so far by the Election Commission. Naturally then, today's attack by the Prime Minister has led to allegations that this is nothing more than an attempt yet again to fall back on the traditional 80-20 trope and divide the electorate in Bihar just before elections. Simanchal itself has 24 of the total 243 assembly seats in the state, but this message of infiltration and the attendant polarization, if it happens, is likely to reverberate far and wide.
कांग्रेस, आरजेडी और उसके इकोसिस्टम के लोग घुसपैठियों की वकालत करने में जुटे हैं, उन्हें बचाने में लगे हैं और बेशर्मी के साथ विदेश से आए घुसपैठियों को बचाने के लिए ये नारे लगा रहे हैं, यात्राएं निकाल रहे हैं। आरजेडी कांग्रेस वालों की जमात, जरा कान खोल के मेरे बात सुन लो। जो भी घुसपैठिया है उसे बाहर जाना ही होगा। घुसपैठ पर ताला लगाना एनडीए की पक्की जिम्मेदारी है। जो लोग घुसपैठियों की ढाल बनते हैं वो सुन ले, भारत में भारत का कानून चलेगा, घुसपैठियों की मनमानी नहीं चलेगी। ये मोदी की गारंटी है। घुसपैठियों पर कार्रवाई होगी और देश इसका अच्छा परिणाम भी देख के रहेगा। घुसपैठ के समर्थन में कांग्रेस, आरजेडी वाले जो विषय उछाल रहे हैं, बिहार और देश की जनता उन्हें बहुत करारा जवाब देने जा रही है।
Most would agree that what we have heard from the Prime Minister of late is uncharacteristically aggressive language, calling the opposition a jamaat of supporters of illegals and accusing them of taking out Ghuspetiya Bachao yatras in order to shield illegals in their country, all for the love of their vote bank. But this time, a wary opposition has refused to get drawn into any of this polarizing conversation, and that brings us to the questions on which the buck stops here today. In 3 election-bound states in the next few months, Bihar, Assam and West Bengal, will the insider versus outsider issue be the trump card? Is the Ghuspetiya issue a legitimate fear, especially within border states, or one that holds the promise of carrying out the 80-20 polarization all over again? Joining us on the debate today, we have Sanju Verma, national spokesperson of the BJP, will join us in just a second. We have Sajjan Kumar, political analyst, along with Harshvardhan Tripathi, senior journalist. But my first question is to Negat Abbas, spokesperson of the Congress. Negat Abbas, in principle, do you agree that this is an issue in states like Assam, West Bengal, earlier in Jharkhand, and even in Bihar, where the Prime Minister spoke today?
Good evening, Padmaja, to you, to my co-panelist and the viewers of NDTV. You know, the real invasion, what I call in Bihar, is not exactly the outsiders, but the lack of employment. The unemployment is the basic and the main invasion, the ignorance and the BJP's failures. And you know, when I really think, Padmaja, when BJP can build the stadiums for his friend Adani, I firmly believe that it has the capacity, capability and the ability to build at least, the toilets for the girls of the schools. Because every dropout which is happening right now because of lack of toilets in the state of Bihar of girls is a ball falling on the education system and collapsing it. Now, when we talk about the invasion, it makes me laugh that how the PM of our country is very aptly giving an example that if you cannot convince the people, let's just confuse the people. I mean, what invaders are you talking about? What Ghuspetias are you talking about after 11 years of governance? You've been in the power with the central government. You've been in the power in the state of Bihar. Okay. Why have you been sitting since 11 years? Why is that the corruption, the loot of the corporate land has been happening right under the nose of the Prime Minister? Because lately, 1,050 acres of land has been given to Adani. 10 lakhs of trees consist of mango, lychee and teak have been given to Adani. On what price? Just 1 rupee per year for 33 years. I really want to know that why is this crony capitalism happening? But still,
again, we can debate each one of those issues. By the way, land hasn't been given. He has made a bid for it. And they are going to set up a power plant. So, we can debate each issue. It's not as if it has been given away. Work is being done. And, I could equally dig up data, but that is not the issue. See, Nigat Abbas, I totally understand. Like I said right at the outset, you or the RJD or the CPI-ML would want to steer away from this conversation because it is a polarizing conversation. But whether you like it or not, it is an electoral issue.
Oh, yes?
It was an electoral issue in Jharkhand, which, despite you saying the BJP is polarizing, your alliance managed to win there.
You have to
now,
my
question to you is, and because you said, hold on a second, Sanju Verma, I will bring this in. What have you been doing for the last 11 years? But since you say that this is all a mirage, there isn't really any, infiltration happening, I want to show you some set of data over the last 20 years, including when your party was in government at the center. Where does it start? It starts from 1991. That is from where we have data. Until 1991, a report said that more than 7 lakh Bangladeshis were staying in the states that are bordering Bangladesh. They were staying there illegally. Way back in 1991, when your party was in power, 7 lakh Bangladeshis were acknowledged to be staying in our country. Then let's cut to between 1972 and 1997. The figure given was that more than 9 lakh Bangladeshis have overstayed in India after their visa has expired. Subsequently, official figures were quoted in 1997 when then Home Minister Indrajit Gupta said 1 crore illegal migrants are staying in India. This was the then Home Minister who said that 1 crore illegal migrant that he knew of was staying in India. Subsequently, cut to 2004, the then Home Minister Shri Prakash Jaiswal in a Congress government told Rajya Sabha that 1.2 crore illegal immigrants are staying in India. Later, when there was a backlash, he said, oh, this is all hearsay. It's another matter. He gave this figure inside the Rajya Sabha, but he backpedaled and said, this is all hearsay. One more figure is 2009. A book estimated that India has between 1.5 to 2 crore Bangladeshi immigrants. And these are only just estimates. So the fact is that your government has also acknowledged that illegal immigrants exist in our country. Today, let me repeat my question. Do you think it is an issue at all that one should speak of in election-bound states or otherwise? Nigat Abbas.
Thank you, Padmaja, and I firmly stand with the government on this. Anybody who has illegally from any border state or country has come to border country has come to India and illegally staying here is not right, and those people should be eliminated. But the worrying part is when you spoke about the polarization, what is most worrying is that when 1,700 people are registered by the Election Commission on one address. What is more worrying is that when the dead people are on the list of Election Commission to be able to vote. And what is much worse is that people who are living, being in the queue, spending hours to get that vote, do not have their names on the list. So that is more worrying, and which we should be.
That is more worrying for you now, Sanju Verma, and we have debated all of these worries individually and separately over and over again. You are talking about the intensive revision. We have debated that. Now on the specific issue, ma'am, you had your opening time and you've spoken at length about all of your other concerns as well. Sanju Verma, unequivocally, the Congress spokesperson is saying they are with you on this. 11 years from Jharkhand to Assam to West Bengal to now in Bihar, you keep talking about infiltrators, illegals. Pick them up and throw them out. Stop talking about it in Simanchal, knowing that it's a Muslim majority area and this is a polarizing issue.
You know, Padmaja, my first submission is I've listened very patiently without interjecting. I need my time. You know, let me educate the Congress spokesperson. This is a lot that does not know GDP from GNP. They do not know Aadhaar card from PAN card. They don't know the difference between allocation and disbursement. And this Congress spokesperson does not know the basic difference between bidding for a project and a project actually kickstarting. So, yahan baitkar, they are showcasing their illiteracy. You know, she does not know basic economics, but she wants to give lecture on Adani and blah, blah. So, inko bata do, since she rambled on and on about Adani. In 1988, when Adani's commodity trading business was set up, the government in the center was that of Congress, and in Gujarat also it was that of Congress. In 1993, when Adani Enterprises was set up, the government in the center was that of Congress, but wo sab bhul jaiye. In 2006, Adani was given land at the rate of 10 rupees only per square meter for setting up his SEZ. But now let's come to Bihar. Padmaja, please, I heard, you know.
Yes, let's come to infiltrators.
Rant.
Yes.
Yes, I will speak on everything. So please let me have my say. I'm not running away from any tough question. मेरी वो फितरत नहीं है. You know, I come prepared. ये नहीं कि आपने पूछा बिहार के ऊपर और कांग्रेस की प्रवक्ता अडानी बोलने लगे. इनका वही हाल है कि बार-बार चुनाव हारते हैं पर इनकी अक्कल ठिकाने नहीं आई.
Okay.
Let me say one thing, Padmaja. Today, more than 5.5 crore people in Bihar, and I will be over in 30 seconds on this aspect. More than 5.5 crore people in Bihar get the benefit of PM Garib Kalyan Yojana free ration. More than 1.25 crore households in Bihar are getting access to clean drinking water under Jal Jeevan Mission. More than 67 lakh women in Bihar are getting benefits of PM Ujjwala Yojana. More than 59 lakh houses in Bihar alone have been built under PM Awas Yojana, and the Congress spokesperson was asking, kitne toilet bane?
Okay, infiltrators, please. Because yes, then she is going to go and counter you on each one of those data points as well. Infiltrators, 11 years, how many have you thrown out?
I'm coming to that, Padmaja. You know, when she was speaking, she went off tangent. You were very patient. Please do not show your impatience to me. I respect you. I will come on infiltrators. Zarur aungi. The fact of the matter is, let your audience also know कि क्या क्या हुआ है बिहार में. This Congress party जो बोलती है, राहुल गांधी क्या बोल रहे हैं अभी बिहार में? Tell me Padmaja, infiltration की बात ये है. Why does Prime Minister keep talking about the fact that Bihar is also susceptible to infiltration? The reason is very simple. If you just look at some basic data, Bihar is surrounded by Uttar Pradesh in the west, by Jharkhand in the south, by West Bengal on the eastern side. In the northeastern side, Bihar is surrounded by Sikkim, and Bihar also shares an international border with Nepal. So Bihar is not in a really enviable position because it shares border with various states which are susceptible to infiltration. But I would like to remind you, there was a notification passed in 2018 by the Ministry of Home Affairs. And what did the notification say? It said that the largest amount of infiltration happens from West Bengal. And it told the West Bengal government under Mamata Banerjee, why did the notification dated 17th July 2018, please take the help of BSF and identify illegal migrants and infiltrators. And what did Mamata Banerjee say? She said, we are not going to do this. ये जो घुसपैठिया हैं, ये जो रोहिंग्या हैं, ये जो इलीगल एलियंस हैं बांग्लादेश से, ये हमारे खासम खास हैं. So it is not just the job of the union government. Union government की तो जिम्मेदारी है ही. But state governments, when given free powers to rein in migrants, say, हमसे ना हो पाएगा जी. Let me tell you also something. Do you know data which has been shared on the Union Home Ministry's archives? How many illegal migrants are there currently in Karnataka, which has happened only in the recent 1 year? More than 37 lakh migrants have entered into Karnataka with Siddaramaiah caught napping at the wheel. तो जब कर्नाटका में हो वाजीवा, जब बंगाल में हो वाजीवा, पर जब बीजेपी की सरकार कहे कि हम आपको खुली छूट देते हैं, घुसपैठियों को अरेस्ट करिए, तब हाहाकार.
But tell me this, Sanju Verma, 20 years Nitish Kumar has been Chief Minister in Bihar. Why are there so many illegal immigrants, like your party is saying, the Prime Minister is saying, spreading their tentacles all over Simanchal? It has been Nitish Kumar's government over there. He should have weeded them out. He should have thrown them out. Why have they been allowed to grow, proliferate in Bihar? And why mention it before elections?
You know, Padmaja, I think you have to also look at the Prime Minister's speech. In the last 1 month, he's visited Bihar a couple of times, and I think you forgot the other point that the Prime Minister made. The key areas where infiltration is happening are Araria, Kishanganj, Purnia, Katihar, and to some extent in Sitamarhi and East Champaran district. But he says it is thanks to Nitish Kumar. It is thanks to the BJP. It is thanks to the NDA that jo Lalu Yadav nahi kar paye sadiyon tak, infiltration overall in these high density.
Can I please come in on that?
Okay, quick rebuttal, Nigat Abbas, before I open this up as well. Nitish Kumar has managed to control it, but today the Prime Minister said, Nigat Abbas, that Ghuspaithia Bachao Yatra is being carried out by the Jamaat. Those were his words, by the Jamaat of RJD and Congress. You are trying to save them when Nitish Kumar is trying to oust them.
Oh, please start the Ghuspaithia Bhagao Yatra. Na? Who's stopping Narendra Modi, Sanju Verma and all the Bharatiya Janata Party people? I do not understand. But as a female spokesperson, I did expect from Sanju Verma that she will be talking about the toilets and the, you know, delay of the things which could have done for the could have been done for the females in Bihar. I mean, why do not you talk about that? What kind of heinous crimes has been happening?
Okay, again we are going to go off the rails over here, and this is going to be unending. This is going to be unending.
No,
I gave you your opening comment. You listed out everything that's wrong in Bihar, and everything can be debated one at a time. But with the greatest of respect, ladies, if I'm going to start debating everything that needs to be done in Bihar, we'll be sitting here long after elections in Bihar are over. So let me come back to the point. You are saying that there is absolutely no politicization. Any comments on the fact? Any comments on the fact that the BJP says RJD Congress are trying to save the infiltrators for their vote bank?
What do we call it? The list.
Are they trying to save infiltrators for their vote bank? What do you have to say about that?
I am so glad, Padmaja. Padmaja, can I please speak?
Yes, go on, Nigat Abbas.
Thank you, Padmaja. I am so glad that you acknowledged this statement that yes, if we talk about the problems in Bihar, it is an endless list, and which is why BJP will be, you know, bow down to hands down that yes, we are just giving up. Now, when we talk about the infiltration, you know, Sanju has the list of what they have not done, but she cannot even once tell us that what is the steps the government has taken for removing and eliminating these people who have been illegally living. I mean, you know, PM just goes on the stage and hugs the foreign people. What we want is to save the borders of the Bihar. What have you done? What steps have you taken for the borders of Bihar, Manipur, Calcutta, Kolkata, and other states which shares the border with different countries from where the infiltration happens? We really need to know the answers. But
what steps have you taken? Just 30 seconds, Sanju Verma, then I really must open this up. What steps have you taken? List out the steps. Don't just blame people. Sanju Verma.
You know, Padmaja, let me take strong offense. I think, you know, the Congress spokesperson is hard of hearing. I said more than 17.8 lakh toilets have been built in Bihar, more than 1.25 crore households have got access to clean drinking water under Jal Jeevan Mission.
Why is that 22% of girls dropout has been happening in the schools of Bihar? Come on, talk data.
I will not speak if you keep
Ranting will not help.
Please, no heckling.
Ranting will not
Ladies,
help.
please, no heckling.
22%
Specific
of
question to you,
dropout.
Sanju Verma, is
Please
please list out the steps taken to take care of the problem.
22% of dropout.
You have spoken about
I
it
speak?
in multiple states. What steps have you taken?
Padmaja, let me be very clear. If you want my views, you have to give me time. I don't want to get into a slanging match with the spokesperson.
We want
She now
answers.
said, you know, what has the Modi government done to control the border situation
Correct.
in Kolkata? Kolkata is a city. Kolkata does not share international borders. आपको इतनी भी अक्कल नहीं है and you are debating on such a sensitive issue. I repeat, Kolkata is a city.
Oh,
it is
come
not a
on.
state, Nigata Bas.
Sanju,
And you said Kolkata has borders. Kolkata has
Sanju,
borders. Are you a clown?
Okay.
You don't
Okay,
know
Sanju.
basics.
Okay,
You don't know basics.
Sanju, let's be
Okay,
practical.
Okay, let's not make this personal. Let's not make this personal, please. Okay, let me bring in Sajjan Kumar and Harshvardhan Tripathi as well. Harshvardhan ji, I just want to play out what the Prime Minister said yesterday and why this is important. A lot of people are very cynical. They say, what is the point of raising this issue again and again? But in just the last 24 hours, first the Prime Minister was in Assam. Today he was in Bihar. And in both places, he has used very strong language on this issue, making one wonder if it is a sign of things to come. Let's listen in to what the Prime Minister said yesterday about the Ghuspaitiya issue in Assam. Listen.
घुसपैठियों से देश को बचाएंगे, घुसपैठियों से देश को मुक्ति दिलाएंगे। और मैं उन राजनेताओं को भी कहना चाहता हूं, आप जो चुनौती लेकर के मैदान में आए ना, मैं सुना तान करके उस चुनौती को स्वीकार करता हूं। और लिख लो, मैं देखता हूं घुसपैठियों को बचाने में तुम कितनी ताकत लगाते हो और घुसपैठियों को हटाने में हम कैसे अपना जीवन लगा देते हैं। हो जाए मुकाबला। घुसपैठियों को बचाने के लिए निकले हुए लोगों को भुगतना पड़ेगा। मेरे शब्द सुन के रखो, ये देश उनको माफ नहीं करेगा।
हो जाए मुकाबला। I can't remember the last time, Harshvardhan ji, the Prime Minister something like this. इसका क्या मतलब है? क्या ये वोट चोरी का जो पूरा कैंपेन है उसका तोड़ है कि अब हम देश भर में करेंगे और देश भर में एक घुसपैठियों के खिलाफ कैंपेन चलाएंगे? बिहार, बंगाल, ये सब तो होता रहेगा।
पद्मजा जी, नरेंद्र मोदी ने आज ये बात कही, कल असम में कही थी। मैं एक और स्टेटमेंट कोट करता हूं, फिर अपनी बात में कहूंगा। In 1971 statement to the UN General Assembly, Indira Gandhi described the refugee crisis as a heavy burden on India's economy and resources, emphasizing that Pakistan's actions had forced India to host millions unwillingly. She argued this was not sustainable and called for international intervention to repatriate them. This reflected her view that ये उस वक्त की बात थी, 1971। कई बार मैं देख रहा हूं कि डिबेट में ये बात आती है कि ये 11 साल की सरकार ने क्या किया, इसलिए मुझे ये रेफरेंस देना बड़ा जरूरी लगा। प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने जो असम में कहा और जो वो बिहार में कह रहे हैं, मुझे कोई कंफ्यूजन नहीं। प्रधानमंत्री ये जो अवैध घुसपैठियों की समस्या है इसको हेड ऑन लेने जा रहे हैं, और जो उन्होंने कहा कि मिशन डेमोग्राफी हमने बॉर्डर एरिया में शुरू किया है, ये उसी की तरफ बढ़ता हुआ कदम। ये ठीक बात है कि ये सवाल पूछा जाएगा कि बीजेपी की सरकार 11 वर्षों से है, नरेंद्र मोदी प्रधानमंत्री, कई राज्यों में उनकी सरकार है। हालांकि जब 20 साल से हम बिहार में सरकार कहते हैं तो नीतीश कुमार जब 2005 से 2014 तक थे तो केंद्र में यूपीए की सरकार थी, और कांग्रेस किस तरह से इसका बचाव करती है वो हमने देखा। 2005 में ममता बनर्जी लोकसभा में इसी इलीगल माइग्रेंट की समस्या को लेकर कागज फेंकती है, और आज जब वो 2011 में वो बन जाती हैं मुख्यमंत्री तो क्या कहती हैं? वो कहती हैं कि ना ना, हम तो बचाएंगे, हम सब देंगे आपको। देश को इन परिस्थितियों में अवैध घुसपैठियों को खोजना है, और मुझे लगता है ये सबसे बड़ी क्राइसिस है देश की इंटरनल सिक्योरिटी के लिए। लंदन में 5-6% इलीगल इमिग्रेंट हुए, वो मुस्लिम घुसपैठिए हुए, लंदन के लोग जाग गए। हमारे देश के लोग आज भी नहीं जागे। ये इलेक्शन का इशू नहीं है, एनआरसी आना चाहिए। और इस देश में एनआरसी छोड़िए, जब सीए की बात हुई तब किस तरह से विरोध किया गया और किस तरह से देश को काटने की बात की गई, ये समझना चाहिए। और मैं फिर कह रहा हूं, ये इलेक्शन इश्यू नहीं है। इलेक्शन के वक्त कोई बात ज्यादा ध्यान से सुनाई देती है, लेकिन देश के लोगों को सोचना चाहिए कि क्या ये अवैध घुसपैठिए देश को बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, और कम से कम अवैध घुसपैठिए भाजपा को तो वोट नहीं करें।
Exactly, and this should go far beyond elections as well. The reason why people keep linking it to election results is for the following reason. Let me show you the results of 2020 assembly election in Seemanchal. And Sanju Verma, I'm sure since you're a data person, you'd want to see this as well. Total of 24 seats in Seemanchal. How did the results pan out for the various parties? Now, of the 24 seats, the BJP got 8, the Congress got 5, the JDU got 4, the RJD got 1. There were others which were taken, I think, 1 by the CPI-ML and 5 were taken by the AIMIM. So the BJP had a lead here even in Seemanchal. But, and here's the problem, Sanju Verma, this time around, people aren't too sure if the AIMIM is going to be able to take away those 5 seats. So to maintain this lead in Seemanchal, are you looking at the polarization working for you, and which is why you are mentioning the issue of illegals in Seemanchal, pointedly in Seemanchal, which has got 60%, 70%, 80% Muslim population in several districts?
You know, my limited response to that is this. Do you remember the by-polls in October/November 2024? There was Kundarki in Uttar Pradesh. Kundarki has more than a 65% Muslim population, Padmaja. And Kundarki में से किसकी जीत हुई थी? 2024 के बाईपोल में a man called Ramveer Singh Thakur. He defeated 11 Muslim contestants, and guess what? जीत भी क्या शानदार हुई थी. Ramveer Singh Thakur won Kundarki with victory margin of 1.43 lakh votes, and his nearest contestant was from the Samajwadi Party, and the second contestant was from BSP. ज्यादातर पिछले 30 दशकों में कुंडरकी से या समाजवादी पार्टी जीती है या मायावती की बीएसपी जीती है। 30 सालों के बाद कुंडरकी से बीजेपी का प्रत्याशी जीता, showing that winds of change are here, and winds of change will be seen in Seemanchal also. And let me tell you one more thing, since you called me a data person. How many seats did the Congress contest on in 2020? Padmaja Joshi, you are a data person too.
17.
They contested on 70.
70, sorry, not 17, 70.
Yes. 70 सीटों पर कांग्रेस ने प्रत्याशी खड़े किए थे. And do you know how many seats the Congress won? 19, सिर्फ 19 सीटें, which is a pathetic strike rate of 27%. जो पार्टी 70 सीटों पर लड़ती है और 20 सीटें भी नहीं जीत पाती है, और उनके मुखिया एसआईआर के खिलाफ नारे लगाते हैं, वोट चोर गद्दी छोड़. डू यू थिंक बिहार की जनता राहुल गांधी को
can I please come in?
Okay, but the situation can change. The situation can change, and just like the polarization can work in your favor, the counter polarization can help them as well. Or that's what they will be hoping, that they will get all the people together. I think Nigat Abbas should respond to that. I will come to you, Sajjan Kumar. Just give me 2 minutes, please. Yes, Nigat Abbas.
Thank you. You know, the way Sanju Verma has, come up with the numbers and how smartly she remembers, I am more confident that she will be able to tell me the numbers, that how many kilometers of fencing, the modern surveillance has been done on the Bihar borders in order to secure the state of illegal immigration. And now, Sanju Verma, if you're not able to answer this with the number, from tomorrow, let's stop calling BJP any spokesperson a number person, because I will tell you why. Because you people know I cannot speak over anyone.
No, don't interrupt her, please.
I cannot speak over you. You have to keep quiet. You have to keep quiet.
You don't even know Kolkata is not a state.
Because these people...
Okay, one at a time. Please let her finish. Let her finish. I'll give you time to answer. Nigat Abbas.
Padmaja, you better shut up. You better shut up and answer my question.
Okay, everyone, please, language. Ladies, can I please reduce Sanju Verma's radar? Nigat Abbas, finish your question. Ask your question, please.
And once the elections are... ask her to just shut up and do not interfere me. Ask her to just be quiet and do not interfere me. I did not speak over her, and stop ranting. I am telling, I'm exposing them. If she is not able to answer my question, if she keeps ranting, hence proof this Bharatiya Janata Party has been using this illegal immigration, the buzzword, just for the elections, and immediately after the elections, everything will be erased. Why? I'll tell you why. Because otherwise, their politics will collapse.
Okay. Nigat Abbas, it's interesting you asked that question. How much fencing, how much surveillance has been done in Bihar? That Sanju Verma should answer. But I will give you an interesting statistic. Here was a question, an unstarred question that was asked in the Rajya Sabha on the 20th of August 2025. It was asked by Neeraj Shekhar and Shambhu Sharan Patel about the fencing on the India-Bangladesh border. Here is what the MOS Home Affairs, Nityanand Rai, said in answer. The question asked to him was, how much has the fencing been done with Bangladesh in the state of West Bengal, and what is the surveillance? The statistics that he has offered is very, very interesting, because he said that the total length of the India-Bangladesh border in West Bengal is 2216.7 kilometers, out of which 1647 kilometers has been fenced. However, 569 kilometers which is left unfenced, that is because a large amount of land hasn't been handed over by the state government. Out of 456.224 kilometers, which is feasible for fencing, 77.93 kilometers has been handed over to executing agency. For the balance stretch of 378 kilometers, land acquisition is yet to be initiated for 148 kilometers by the state government. The state government in West Bengal hasn't even acquired the land over 148 kilometers, which needs to be fenced in the border that we share with Bangladesh. That's just an unfortunate fact. And it has been placed on record in the Rajya Sabha. Now, Sanju Verma, please answer on the surveillance, the fencing, and the overall upkeep of the border that you have ensured, specifically in relation to Bihar.
And Padmaja, you know, let me just tell the Congress spokesperson one thing. I don't want to get personal. She said, let Sanju Verma shut up. She's interfere me. Thodi Angrezi seekh lo, Nigat Abbas. This is an English channel. It is ask her not to interfere with me. Yes, you don't know basic English. Shant ho jao. Beefcoofi mat dikhao. Arey beefcoof shant ho jao.
Okay, please.
Shant ho jao. Padmaja, now can I?
Yes, please. I would really appreciate, it doesn't reflect well on either one of us to have this kind of a conversation when people are watching. It really isn't becoming. Please, let's stay away from personal slights. Let's not ask each other to shut up, and let's have a civilized conversation. Sanju Verma, what are the measures taken?
Padmaja, now when I'm speaking, I don't want the illiterate Congress spokesperson Nigat Abbas, बेवकूफी का प्रदर्शन यहाँ पर वो कर रही हैं. Ask her to just shut up. She's as dumb as her Mukhya Rahul Gandhi. But let me come to this. 1751 kilometers, and you're free to check the Union Home Ministry archives. Bihar shares a border of 1751 kilometers with Nepal. More than 69.2% has been fenced. Bihar shares a border of 451 miles, which is 726 kilometers. This is for the likes of Nigat Abbas, जिनको miles और kilometers की जानकारी नहीं है. 451 miles is 726 kilometers. यहाँ पर 58.23% की fencing हो चुकी है. Bihar shares a border of 239 kilometers with Sikkim. यहाँ पर 73.47% की fencing हो चुकी है. So between 58.2 to 73.2, the key major areas, Sikkim, West Bengal, and international border with Nepal. यहाँ पर मोदी सरकार ने fencing की है. But I want to ask the Congress one person.
Okay.
You know, Rahul Gandhi says we should not have infiltrators coming in. So far, so good. But then Rahul Gandhi, his lackey Pawan Khera, his lackey Jairam Ramesh, why are you against SIR? Because SIR seeks to delegitimize illegal migrants. SIR seeks to give legitimacy only to bona fide citizens of India. So an illiterate Nigat Abbas, who's basically a radical at heart, can come and give bhashan. But pucho isko, does she support CAA? She will say no. Does she support NRC? She will say no. Does she support SIR? She will say no. So madam, चिल्लाना बंद करिए, अपने पप्पू महाशय को बोलिए SIR को सपोर्ट करें.
Okay, Nigat Abbas, just give me a second. I really must go across to Sajjan Kumar now. Sajjan Kumar, hold on a second, please. He's been waiting very patiently. Sajjan Kumar, my question is,
kind
does
of
this
language
issue
of
have
my
any
leader,
electoral
of my
resonance at all? Because it was brought up very strongly by the BJP and their state in charge during the Jharkhand elections, and in all the areas which are tribal dominated, where this was supposed to be a huge issue, the BJP lost.
Yes, BJP lost in Jharkhand, but let's see the larger context. What is the context? If we deconstruct Prime Minister's speech from yesterday's at Assam to today at Purnia, Simhanchal region of Bihar, it's basically about developmental aspiration combined with demographic anxiety, right? Now, coming into that part of Bihar, while entire Bihar is not as much sensitive about the demographic question as West Bengal and Assam and many northeastern states, but certainly the Simhanchal part of the state, the demographic sensibilities is not new. In fact, as early as 1980, you will find in the newspaper archives, leaders like Sushil Kumar Modi, etc., have been raising, the question of Bangladeshis coming and settling into that part of area. And that time, Tariq Anwar and others, and they all were young politicians then countering it. So demographic debate in Simhanchal region is nothing new. So one, BJP is not creating it. BJP is just trying to privilege it. Why? Because in our framing of the debate, there is a problem of common sense. When you try to appeal to the caste permutation and combination, when you frame the politics or political mobilization as 90 versus 10 or 80 versus 20 or 60 versus 40, as long as it is within the framework of the caste, you do not call it polarization. So caste-centric sectarianism is always seen as progressive, even by the one who have feudal mindset. On the other hand, the moment you try, to consolidate on the basis of the religious identity to counter the caste-centric polarization, that becomes polarizing in the popular parlance. The question is not one is good or one is bad. The question is, if it is about polarization, SIR exercise, when it started and when prime opposition party said that it is primarily aimed to deprive the Dalits, tribals, OBCs, minorities from the voting right, and it is vote chori, you are also trying to polarize a section which constitute numerical majority. So certainly what Prime Minister is doing, by intervening into the narrative battle, he is trying to neutralize the narrative that and the perception that prime opposition party has been trying to constitute in Bihar. And why it will have the resonance, at least in Simhanchal region, because therein you do find the narrative among the common people on the question of demography. One. Two, today he did not just talk about demographic anxieties.
Okay.
The power of the narrative is that he fused it with the developmental aspiration. I mean, you go through the speech and you see how seamlessly he is talking about drone. Just before talking about demographic change, he is and Ghuspaitias, he is talking about Lakhpati Didis, drone Didis, their numbers, Dhanteras, GST reduction, their economy is getting better, and suddenly, seamlessly, he is transitioning into demographic question and in a way neutralizing the SIR exercise and politics around that by the opposition.
Okay, so is it going to neutralize that effect, and does this demographic anxiety have that kind of echo anymore? The results of the West Bengal Assembly election, the results of the Jharkhand Assembly election makes one wonder. However, the people are the ultimate judge. For the time being, both gentlemen, Sanju Verma, Nigat Abbas, thanks very much for having joined me.